What is up, guys? It's Bucky and welcome to your 12th Objective-C tutorial. And I don't know why my voice is so raspy right now. I'm not like sick or anything. I just got back from the beach and all of a sudden my voice is raspy now. So I probably sound different from the last tutorials, but you'll get used to it. So anyways, in this tutorial we're going to be talking about looping. And what looping is it's a way to execute code over and over again without having to type it over and over again. So it's the first pretty neat thing that I'm going to be teaching you. And there are, let's see, probably three main huge types of loops. And in this tutorial, I'm going to be talking to you guys about something called the for loop. And let's just go ahead and get started. Now let's go ahead and make a variable called x, and we won't set it to equal to anything for now. So what we're going to be doing, the very first loop, which is our very first program, is we're going to be outputting the numbers, which means printing them on the screen, 1 to 10. Now, with the tools we have so far, what we can do is we can make 10 lines of code, put nslog, and we can put nslog1, nslog2, and it can get kind of repetitive, but we want to build a program that can repeat this process for us. So that's why Objective-C incorporated something called the for loop. And what it does is it takes a bit of code and it runs it over and over again for as many times as we tell it to. So here's the syntax to create a for loop. Go ahead and press for and go ahead and put empty parentheses after it. Now, you're going to have three kind of sets of variables or arguments for your for loop. The first, actually, technically, they're called three different expressions. The first expression is where you want your expression variable to start. So what's going to happen is this. Go ahead and set x equal to 1. Now, the for loop is going to look at this x, and as long as it's within the range, well, I'm going to give you guys the whole thing first and then you'll understand. Set x equal to 1 and put a semicolon. This expression is over. Now it needs its second expression. Say x is less than or equal to 10. And then that's another expression. Now for your third expression, put x is equal to x plus 1. And now I'll tell you guys what this means and it'll make sense now. You have a variable x, and don't forget this entire program is going to run a piece of code 10 times. So anyways, you have a variable x and it's equal to 1. Now, this program is going to run as long as x is within its boundaries. And then the second one, you give it its boundaries. So you say, alright, it's equal to 1 right now to begin with. And as long as it's less than or equal to 10, I want this program to keep running. You say, alright, well then if it's going to stay 1 the whole time, it's always going to be less than or equal to 10. And the third one is to solve that problem, is to change x. You say, hold on, each time we run this loop, we're going to take that x and add 1 to it. So the first time it's going to be 1, alright? The next time it's going to be 2, alright? Next time 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And once it gets to 11, this expression is not going to be true anymore. So this expression is going to say, alright, I'm only supposed to run this program when it's less than or equal to 10. Once I get to 11, I'm done. So let me go ahead and print all this out for you guys. So what can we do with a for loop? The line we type after this is going to run 10 times. So let me do something real simple like ns log, and then go ahead and put at %i, and then just go ahead and print out x. And now let's go ahead and build and run this, and you'll see visually what's going on. See, the very first time it prints out x, it says x is equal to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and print that out right here. So it does its whole loop and says, is this statement still good? Yep, still less than 10, so I can keep going. Well, I'm going to take x and add 1 to it. And now the next time I run it, it's equal to 2. The next time equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then after 10, it sets x to 11. And it says, alright, I'm only supposed to be running this program when x is less than or equal to 10. So since I got to 11, that way I knew that my program wasn't good anymore and I was supposed to stop. And this one, I mean, you don't even have to do x plus 1. You can do x plus 2, and look what happens here. Save all. It starts out at 1, then it goes 3, 5, 7, 9. And once it gets past 10, I mean, it knows to shut down. And you can also start at different values. Let me change this back to 1. 1, you can start at something like 4, and it'll give it a different starting point. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or you can even go to 4 to 21. And now when you build and run this and save, it'll go from 4 to 21. So again, all a for loop does is it takes a little bit of code and it runs it over and over again for you. So without this for loop, just imagine if we had a program that we had a bit of code we wanted to run 1,000 times, which you do in some cases. Well, we would have to type everything 1,000 times over and over again, and it'll get really annoying. So that is why they made this nice little thing called a loop to do code over and over again for you. So those are the basics of looping, and that's all you really need to know for loops for this tutorial. Again, there are two different types of loops as well that we're going to be going over in tutorials to come. In the next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you, aside from outputting numbers 1 to 10, why you would use a for loop and make this idea and concept stick in your head a little more. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my blog. And by the way, I'll see you next tutorial.